Good afternoon. Hope everyone's had a great week. Hope it's been a very positive one for you. So this is probably the last in the series about chakras, and then we're going to move on to other things relating to all things crystals. So we're going to talk about the crown chakra today. So the crown chakra is our link to the divine. So just as our base chakra is around our physical safety, our physical needs, and our connection to Mother Earth, our crown chakra, which is located at the top of our head here, is related to our connection to the divine, the source, spirit, God, universe, whatever name you choose to give it. So it's really around our spirituality. So from pretty much the solar plexus heart up, it's all our higher vibration crystals, and it's all about our connection to healing, psychic abilities, spirituality, all that kind of higher level stuff. So when our crown chakra is out of balance, just as with the other chakras, it can manifest in certain ways. So some of the ways that it can manifest if it's out of balance are things like bit of depression, lack of empathy, could be some dizziness, could also be confusion, forgetfulness, that kind of stuff. We can also be a bit light sensitive. We can also experience seizures. Obviously there's other reasons for some of that stuff, but if they're just random, no other medical reason, this could be why you may experience some of this stuff. Another way it can show itself is we could be very critical of others. We could be very egotistical, thinking that our own way of thought or being or acting is the only way. That very rigid thought patterns rather than the flexibility, allowing people to be the unique people they are and individuals. It's a very rigid way of thinking. It can also mean that we're a bit judgmental, quite happy to vocalise our criticisms. Also, it can mean when you get those days where you feel a little bit lost, that could just mean that our crown chakra is out of balance too. So it's when we've kind of lost a bit of our purpose, lost a bit of our creativity, that kind of stuff. Just things don't feel right. Quite often it's our crown chakras being out of balance. So what can we do? So when it's in balance, all the things we will feel is grounded. We will be in control of our emotions. We will also feel very intuitive. It will also probably accentuate any psychic abilities or any abilities you may have. So what can we use to help bring these back into balance? So just as last week, I'm going to mention amethyst. So again, amethyst is really, really good, and with amethyst it can actually alter the ego to a point where it becomes less about me and more about other people. So it's bringing that back to that point of balance, and it can also help with meditation, brings a bit of clarity, and it's also very protective. So amethyst is a good one. I would really suggest actually having amethyst in your bedroom. It's a really good one to have beside your bed, especially if you feel you're having a bit of, when the mind races and you can't kind of settle. It's a really good one just to bring the mind down and calm and peaceful. So it's a really nice one to actually have beside the bed. Get all your electronics away from your head when you're sleeping. Just a quick side note there. Most of us have digital clock radios, a phone or whatever, and they're usually beside us. Put them on the floor, put them away, well away as far as you can possibly. I understand people need to charge them and they've got to be plugged in, you've got to get up for work, but please move them away from your head, okay? So another crystal that's obviously great for the crown chakra, clear quartz. And the clearer you can get the clear quartz, the better. And that's purely and simply Spirit's just telling me that the clearer the quartz is, the clearer our mind's going to be, the clearer the connection's going to be. So again, we can just lay down, meditate, having that either on the top of our head or just behind the top of our head if we're laying down. So that's a way of using that. Another good one is actually ametrine. I know this looks like a little piece of amethyst, but you can actually see just, sorry, on the camera it's not very good, but there's a little yellow piece here, there's another little yellow piece here. So what ametrine is, it's a blend of citrine and amethyst. So again, with the ametrine, it unites masculine and feminine, it brings about balance, so it's that whole balance thing. It's also mental and spiritual clarity. Just on a side note, citrine, if you've got studies or anything like that, I studying at the moment, is a good one to have beside you when you're studying, because it just keeps your mind focused and just keeps all that clutter out of the way. So that's another good one. Another favourite of mine is selenite. So selenite is another one. I think most people are familiar with this beautiful stone. It doesn't need cleansing. Don't clean it in water. Use your singing bowl, smudge, whatever. But selenite is just awesome. So it helps with decision making. It lessens the confusion. And also one good thing about selenite, it actually removes any energy blocks from anywhere. So it just clears everything. So it's fantastic. Personal favourite of mine, and I could actually never keep these when I first came across them, they would have a habit of disappearing on me. They would go where they need to go, so don't be surprised. This can actually happen to any of your crystals. You might find 1 minute they're there, the next minute they're gone. You know nobody's touched them, you know you haven't moved them. They tend to go off to where they're needed. And this particular crystal was always doing that to me. These are herkimer diamonds. They are a little bit different to clear quartz. They're not actually a diamond, they're a clear variety of clear quartz. They're found in a place in America called herkimer, and they often have little inclusions in them. This one has little black inclusions in it, and they're also double terminate because they actually form in liquid rather than a base rock like most clear quartz does. Herkimer diamonds are one of my absolute go-tos, favourite stones. When you're feeling a bit low, you're just out of sorts, can't put your finger on why. They just absolutely love children, and they bring that childlike joy into our life. So with the herkimers, they actually give us that element of joy again. They lift our spirits. They remind us of all the things that children are: innocent, open, that wonder, all those joyful things that children are and be. That's what herkimer diamond brings to us. So on those times where stuff is getting a bit to you and you're feeling a bit down, just wear a piece or carry a piece with you. They just absolutely sparkle, and I can't praise them enough. As you can see, they really are the most beautiful little stones. Absolutely love these. And if you can get them, they are pricey. They can be a bit pricey, but well worth the investment. And you can get them from tiny little ones. That was a bit bigger, so well worth the investment. The last one I'm going to mention is tanzanite. So this is a little piece of tanzanite. It's a beautiful indigo violet colour. They can almost go, if you get the gem quality, they can almost go to almost like a pale lavender right through to that deep violet blue colour. So with tanzanite, it's a very high vibration stone. So it connects us to the angelic realms, the spirit guides, and our higher consciousness. It's very much a stone of service, I think, or I feel. If again, life is getting to a point where you feel a bit lost, tanzanite is going to be one of those stones that reminds you it's okay. It's going to be okay. It's okay sometimes just to sit and be still, just assess where we are, and then maybe think of, okay, so I'm at this point in my life, what can I do to help somebody else? I know it sounds a bit of a contradiction, but quite often when we're a bit low, one of the easiest ways to make ourselves feel better is actually do something nice for someone else. kindness really is the most awesome medicine. Love is the most awesome medicine. These are ways of being. They are not emotions. People just put them down as emotions. True unconditional love is an absolute state of being. That should be the way we are as humans. This is not something we learn, it's inherently in us. We choose to make the wrong choices. We choose to go down a different path for whatever reason. But if we try and come back to that place in our heart, that centre place, giving some service to others is the best way to help us when we're feeling a bit lost. It can help us just reassess, trying to think of the best words to put it, sit in our own space and see what the reality of what we're actually experiencing is. Because quite often when we've got stuff going on, we can blow it out of proportion. It seems way bigger than an elephant, and it might only be as tiny as a little insect. But because we're sitting in that crap at the moment, it seems way bigger than the reality is. When we help others, we see what they're sitting with. Quite often it makes us put our own stuff in perspective. So it's something to have a think about. So that's pretty much where we're at with all the chakras. We've done from the base all the way up to the crown. I hope it's been useful. So what I'm going to hopefully do from now on is we're working towards grids. As you know, grids are what I really do. But as I say, it was just a bit hard to start talking about crystal grids, how you work them, blah, 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 until you actually got the basics. So we've covered a little bit about that. So the next step will be covering some of the main groups of crystals, and then how we can actually use those for grids. What a grid is, what it can do, how it can help us. There's lots of other ways we can use crystals. Jewellery is one great way of wearing them. You've got gem elixirs, which are actually a bit like homeopathic remedies in that they take the essence of the crystal into water, and you can use those for healing. Very similar to homeopathic remedies. And then obviously you've got crystal healing, crystal grids. They're all got different intentions and purposes. So that'll be the next thing. So hope you've all enjoyed this little bit of information and you found it really helpful. Please, again, any questions, don't be frightened to post them underneath the video. I'd be happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will find out for you. My ego is not like that I know everything. We're always learning every minute of every day, and each day Spirit teaches us something new. So, yeah. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend and wonderful new week ahead, and wish you much love and many blessings. Thanks for watching. Much love.